The night I finally understood. I didn't know it yet, but that night was the last night I would ever be the same person. I was sitting alone in my car outside her apartment building, engine off, phone in my hand, watching the lights on her floor. My heart was calm, my mind was loud. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't explain it. You know that feeling? When your chest is quiet, but your thoughts won't stop talking. Her name was Maya, and for 2 years, she had been my whole world. I had met her when I was broke, tired, and tried to build something from nothing. I didn't have much money, no fancy car, no big dreams yet, just a small apartment, a second-hand laptop, and a stubborn belief that one day I'd make it. She walked into my life like a soft storm. Beautiful, gentle voice, always laughing. The kind of girl who makes you forget your problems just by sitting next to you. Back then, I thought she loved me for me. I was wrong. That night, outside her building, I was waiting to surprise her. I had just landed my first real client for my business. Not big money yet, but enough to breathe easier. I wanted to tell her first. I wanted to see her smile. But instead, I saw something else. Her window was open. The curtains weren't fully closed. And inside, I saw her laughing. Not on the phone. Not alone. With another man. He stood behind her. Close. Too close. His hand rested on the back of her chair, like he owned the space. Like he belonged there. My stomach dropped. I didn't hear what they were saying, but I saw her body language. Relaxed. Comfortable. Familiar. That's when the truth started knocking. Not banging. Not screaming. Just tapping again and again. And that's when my whole story really began. How she entered my life. Let me take you back. Before Maya, I was invisible. Not ugly. Not dumb. Just unnoticed. I worked long hours doing freelance work online. Writing, editing, building small projects for clients who paid little but expected everything. I slept late, woke up tired, and kept telling myself, just one more push. Then one evening, I walked into a small coffee shop near my place. It was raining outside, and I only went in because I didn't want to get soaked walking home. She was sitting by the window, typing on her phone, hair tied back, headphones on. I remember thinking, she's out of my league. But life has a strange sense of humor. The barista messed up my order, and while I waited, she looked up and smiled at me like she had known me for years. "Long day?" she asked. That was it. One simple question. But it felt like someone had finally seen me. We talked for 2 hours that night. About nothing and everything. Music, dreams, money, fear. She said she loved ambition. Said she hated lazy men. Said she wanted someone who would win big one day. I liked that. I thought she believed in me. After that, we were inseparable. She supported me when I worked late. She listened when I talked about my plans. She laughed at my bad jokes. She touched my arm when I got nervous. And slowly, I fell. Hard. What I didn't see back then was how often money came into our conversations. Not directly, but always there, like a shadow. The little things I ignored. At first, it was small. Can you help me with rent this month? Just until my paycheck comes. Babe, I forgot my wallet. Can you cover dinner? My phone bill is overdue. I'm so stressed. I didn't mind. I loved her. And I thought that's what love meant. Showing up when someone needs you. But then it became normal. Every month, there was something. She never asked how my business was doing unless money was involved. She never cared how tired I was unless it affected what I could give. When I couldn't help, she'd get distant, quiet, cold. And when I did help, she'd suddenly become warm again. Sweet, loving. I didn't connect the dots. I told myself, she's just going through a hard time. But one day, a friend said something that stayed in my head. She doesn't love you. She loves what you do for her. I laughed it off, but my heart didn't, because deep down, I already knew something was wrong. I just wasn't ready to face it. Not yet. The moment the mask slipped, the first real crack in the picture happened on a random Tuesday. Nothing dramatic. No shouting. No big fight. Just one small moment that changed everything. Maya was in the shower, and her phone was on the bed. It buzzed once. Then again. Then again. I didn't plan to look, but the screen lit up, and I saw a name I had never seen before. Ryan Briefcase, with a message preview that said, "Missed last night already. Same time tomorrow." My chest tightened. I told myself, don't overthink it. But my hand moved on its own. I picked up the phone. The lock screen wasn't locked. And in that second, my world cracked open. Their messages were not long, not romantic, not dramatic. They were comfortable, too comfortable, talking about dinners, hotels, money, plans. And then I saw it, a message from her. "Don't worry, he pays my bills. You just get me." I read it 3 times, slowly, carefully, like my brain couldn't accept it. "He pays my bills. You just get me." That was the moment my heart stopped trusting. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just sat there, holding her phone, realizing the person I loved didn't exist. She came out of the bathroom, towel around her hair, smiling like everything was normal. "Hey, babe, what's wrong?" I looked at her, and for the first time, I didn't see love. I saw strategy. How the truth came out. I didn't confront her right away. Not yet. I needed to understand everything. So I played dumb. I became quiet, observing, listening, watching. And Maya got careless. She started taking more calls in the bathroom, started dressing better for no reason, started coming home late with weak excuses. One night, she forgot her laptop at my place, and her email was still logged in. That's when I saw it. Transfers, receipts, hotel bookings, messages, not just Ryan. There were 2 more. Men who paid, men who thought they were special, men who didn't know they were just wallets with names. And I was the fool who thought I was the one she loved. I finally asked her, calmly, "Are you seeing someone else?" She didn't even look scared. She just looked annoyed. "Why are you acting insecure all of a sudden?" That's when I knew. She wasn't sorry. She was irritated that I was noticing. So I told her the truth. "I saw your messages." Her face changed, not to guilt, to anger. "So what?" she said. "You think love pays rent? You think feelings buy food?" That sentence hit harder than any slap ever could. And that's when something inside me shut down. Not my heart, my weakness. Say, the night I stopped begging. After that fight, something inside me changed. Not loudly, not in a movie-style moment. Just quietly. I didn't argue anymore. I didn't ask for explanations. I didn't try to fix things. I just watched. Maya thought she had won. She thought I'd fall back in line like always. She was wrong. That night, she went out with friends. I stayed home alone. And for the first time in 2 years, I didn't miss her. I sat on my bed in the dark, staring at the wall, replaying everything in my head. Every time she asked for money. Every time she pulled away when I couldn't help. Every time she suddenly became sweet after I paid for something. It all made sense now. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was her backup plan, her safety net, her emergency fund with feelings. And that realization hurt. But it also did something else. It woke me up. I opened my laptop and looked at my bank account. Not much, but enough to start moving differently. I stopped trying to impress her. Instead, I started rebuilding myself. Not for revenge. Not yet. For respect. The new version of me. The next weeks, I changed everything. My routine. My mindset. My focus. I stopped spending on her. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped chasing her moods. And Maya noticed. At first, she liked it. She thought I was finally maturing. Then she got confused. Then uncomfortable. Because when you stop feeding someone's control, they start to panic. I worked harder on my business than ever before. I reached out to better clients. I raised my prices. I took risks I was too scared to take before. And slowly, money started coming in. Not crazy money, but real money. The kind that builds confidence. The kind that changes how you walk into a room. Maya saw the shift. She started touching me more, laughing louder at my jokes, posting me online again, not because she loved me, but because she saw value coming back. And that's when I knew. She didn't love the old me, and she wouldn't love the new me either. She only loved what she could take. And this time, I wasn't going to give her anything. Say, letting her think she was winning. The smartest move I made was pretending nothing was wrong. I didn't pull away completely. I didn't act cold. I didn't accuse her again. Instead, I became calm. Too calm. I started smiling again. I started agreeing with her. I started listening without reacting. Maya loved that. To her, it felt like I was finally back. She thought I had accepted the situation, that I had understood my place. And that made her careless. She started talking more, sharing more, letting things slip. She told me about Ryan like he was just a co-worker. She mentioned trips she had planned with friends. She joked about men who spoiled her. And every time she spoke, I listened, not with my heart, with my mind. I saved messages. I remembered names. I noted dates. I didn't rush revenge. I built it, brick by brick, because real revenge isn't loud. It's patient, the first hidden move. One evening, she asked me something that made me smile inside. "Babe, can you help me with a business idea?" That was new. She never cared about my work before. But now that she saw me doing better, she wanted in. I didn't say no. I said, "Tell me more." She explained how she wanted to start a small online brand. Clothes, beauty stuff, influencer style. And she wanted me to handle the money side. The website, the payments, the setup. I agreed, not because I trusted her, but because I trusted myself. That night, I created everything under my control. The email, the accounts, the systems. Her name on the front, my hands on the back. She thought she was building her future. But really, she was building the stage where the truth would come out. And she had no idea. Say, when her lies started collapsing. Once the business started, Maya changed fast. She talked about money like it was already hers. She planned trips she hadn't earned yet. She promised things she couldn't pay for alone. And that's when her lies began stacking on top of each other. She told Ryan one story. She told the other guys another. She told me something completely different, and none of them matched. One night, she said she was meeting a female friend. 2 hours later, Ryan posted a story at a fancy restaurant. And there she was, across from him, same earrings she had worn when she left my place. That's when I stopped feeling hurt and started feeling clear. Because when you finally see someone for who they are, you don't get emotional anymore. You get strategic. I didn't confront her. I let her dig, full control of the game. The business accounts started growing, not because of her, because of me. I ran the ads. I handled the customers. I managed the money flow. She took pictures, posted online, smiled for the camera, and told everyone this is my brand. But the truth? She didn't even have access to the real systems. I did. Every payment went through accounts she didn't control. Every order passed through my dashboard. Every email was logged under my setup. She thought she was building an empire, but she was standing on a floor I owned. And that's when I knew, when the moment came, she wouldn't fall. She would be exposed. Say, setting the stage for the truth. I didn't rush the ending. I wanted the truth to land at the right time, in the right place, with the right impact. So I started preparing quietly. I organized everything. Screenshots, payment records, messages, dates, promises she made to different people. Not to shame her, but to show who she really was. Meanwhile, Maya kept playing her role. Online, she looked perfect, confident, successful, independent. In real life, she was stressed, always checking her phone, always asking about money, always worried about image. One night she said, "Babe, I feel like everyone is watching me lately." I smiled and said, "They are." She didn't know what I meant, but soon she would. The night everything shifted. The opportunity came faster than I expected. Maya planned a big launch event for her brand. Friends, influencers, people she wanted to impress. She asked me to handle the tech side, the screens, the payments, the online orders. I agreed, again, because she still didn't understand. I was running the whole show. That night, the place was full. Lights, music, laughter. Maya stood in the center, like a queen, smiling, shaking hands, so sure of herself. And I stood in the back, quiet, watching, waiting, because sometimes the strongest revenge isn't loud. It's when you let someone climb higher. So the truth hits harder when they look down. Say, the moment the room stopped breathing. The music was loud, too loud. People were laughing. Glasses were clinking. Cameras were flashing. Maya was in the center of it all, smiling like she had already won life. She walked from group to group, shaking hands, saying things like, "Thank you for believing in my vision. This is just the beginning. We're going global." And everyone believed her because she looked like success. But what they didn't know is that every empire built on lies eventually collapses. And tonight, the first crack was about to show. I stood near the control table, watching the big screen behind her, the screen that was showing her brand logo, her name, her face, her dream, and my finger was resting on the keyboard, one click away from truth. My heart wasn't racing. It was calm, too calm, because when you've been hurt enough, you don't shake anymore. You aim. Maya picked up the mic. "Thank you all for coming tonight," she said. "This brand is my heart, my soul, my hard work." That word, hard work, it almost made me laugh. She continued, "I've sacrificed everything to build this." That's when I knew it was time. I looked at the screen, and I changed it, not to another logo, not to another slide, but to the first message she ever sent Ryan. The room went quiet, not instantly, slowly, like oxygen being pulled out. People stopped talking. Someone whispered, "What's that?" Maya turned around and froze. Her smile didn't fade. It shattered. On the screen, everyone could read, "Don't worry, he pays my bills. You just get me." Her knees almost gave out. She grabbed the mic tighter. "Who did this?" She laughed nervously. "This is a joke, right?" But the screen changed again. Now it showed payment receipts, dates, amounts, names. Not one man, 3. The room wasn't breathing anymore. It was holding its breath. Maya's voice cracked. "Turn it off," she whispered. I didn't. Instead, I played the audio. Her voice. Clear, cold, real. Love doesn't pay rent. Feelings don't buy food. A woman in the front covered her mouth. A guy in the back said, "Yo, that's messed up." Maya turned, scanning the room. And then her eyes found me. In the back. Quiet. Standing still. Not smiling. Not angry. Just stunned. Her face went pale. Not scared. Exposed. Because for the first time in her life, she wasn't controlling the story. The truth was, and it was loud, her world falling apart. The room was silent. Dead silent. Everyone was staring at her. Some faces full of shock. Some faces laughing quietly. Some just staring, mouths open. Maya's hand shook. Her microphone slipped from her grip. She looked around as if searching for an invisible safety net. But there was none. Every lie, every manipulation, every false smile she had shown was now visible to everyone. People who had once clapped for her were now whispering behind their hands. And she realized something that hit harder than any heartbreak ever could. No one could protect her now. Not me, not Ryan, not her friends, not even herself. She tried to speak. Words stumbled. Her voice cracked. She looked like a queen whose crown had been stripped mid-ceremony. Her perfectly curated image shattered. The camera phones were out. Everyone was recording. Everyone was capturing the moment she had no control. The silence after the storm. The room didn't clap. It didn't boo. It didn't move. It just froze. Maya stood there, exposed under the lights, while her perfect world collapsed in real time. The same people who had cheered for her 5 minutes ago now avoided her eyes. She tried to speak again. I can explain. But no one wanted an explanation, because when truth shows up, excuses lose their power. A man near the front shook his head and walked out. A woman whispered, "That's wild," and followed him. One by one, people started leaving, not running, not screaming, just quietly walking away. And that hurt her more than anything else, because attention was her oxygen, and it was disappearing. She looked around the room. No applause, no support, no control, just judgment. She turned toward me again, and this time she didn't look angry. She looked small. The last words between us, when the room was almost empty, she walked toward me, slowly, like every step was heavier than the last. "Why would you do this to me?" she whispered. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I didn't laugh. I just said the truth. "You did this to yourself." I just stopped protecting your lies. Her eyes filled up, not with regret, with fear. Because for the first time, she wasn't in charge of the story. She tried one last move. The soft voice, the sad eyes, the old act. "You know I cared about you," she said. I looked at her and replied calmly, "No, you cared about what I could give you." That was it. No more speeches. No more drama. I turned and walked away. Not angry. Not broken. Free. The real revenge. Here's what nobody tells you about revenge. The best part isn't watching someone fall. It's realizing you don't need them anymore. After that night, I didn't talk about her. I didn't post about her. I didn't chase closure. I focused on me. My work grew. My confidence grew. My life got quiet in a good way. And one day, months later, I saw her name again. Not online. Not in success. In a message request. It said, "I'm sorry." I didn't reply. Because some endings don't need a response. They just need distance. And that's the lesson I learned the hard way. Never let someone use your heart like a bank account. Never confuse love with survival. And never forget, the person who played you only wins until you stop playing their game. Clapperboard end. Thanks for watching.